Notice how he said that before we actually went live.
I don't know. We might have caught it.
Oh, baby. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 27 of Gunning Around, where we are as reliable as the new adopted M27 IAR, but not nearly as expensive. That's the U.S. rifle, HK416 copy. Yeah. And I'm supposed to insert HK being too pricey for the poors comment here, but that's pretty kind of par for the course.
Except for Jens.
Yeah. Well, he's not a poor, though. He's not a poor, though.
Yeah.
He's working himself into poor, I think.
Well, he's one of those dinks, isn't he? Dual income, no kids?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I wish. Well, welcome, guys. Today is another very special episode. It's another big giveaway we got. We got Mark from Triggertech. Mark. What's up, dude? So, yeah, I kind of went off the script there. That's okay. Grab a seat, a drink. I have a drink. Woo. Dead. You're dead to me. You guys AR dead to me?
You guys AR dead to me.
Anyway, so yeah, we're giving away 2 triggers, right, Mark? That's the deal?
We are now, I guess.
Oh.
No, I'm joking.
Okay, there's something to be said for clarity.
Yeah.
Wait, I think I might have one in my tickle truck.
You 17 triggers, right, Mark?
Whoa!
Yeah. Hey, Mark. Hey.
Yeah.
We're going to give one away right away here after we go through our ad reads and stuff, and then whoever sticks it out to the end of the show, they are going to get put into a draw for another one. So if you're here when I say sound off, you fuckers sound off, and I'm going to keep tabs, and I'm going to do the random.org thing. So, okay, but that's not till the end. So, anyway.
Can you actually do 2 things at once?
I can do like maybe 1.5.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's way up on me.
Hey, I can raise a kid and keep him alive. So that's 2.
Shit. Yeah, I failed.
Can you do that without slamming his fingers in the door?
That's right. Oh, no, I did that already. Yeah, ixnay on the door, eh? So who are we brought to?
Well, Gunning Around is proudly brought to you by EM Precision Rifles, specializing in custom precision, long-range and extreme long-range rifles, offering all services in-house, including machining, cerakoting, and custom laser engraving. Fuck, I shouldn't have done that way.
Yeah, why'd you breathe so weird?
I don't know. I'm creepy. I'm good at it. I'm sorry. No need to source components yourself. EM Precision offers preferred pricing through many vendors, carrying every component required, including Triggertech triggers, to get you onto the range or into the field. Find Shane and Steve on their website at emprifles.ca, as well as on Facebook and Instagram as EM Precision Rifles. Another thing, guys, we're still accepting photos on our website of EM Precision builds. Write to us at gunningaround.com.
Hey, show it off, Mark.
Here's the EMP logo here. Shane built my lightweight hunting rifle here, so
nice. Shane sold it to you. Steve built it.
Let's be clear.
Oh. I haven't shot it yet, but I will.
What's the name, Mark?
What chamber?
Sorry?
What chamber?
6.5.
6.5 what?
Oh,
yeah. You got to specify that shit.
So here's one that we're going to start off our show and tell with. This is Steve and his boy.
Yes.
Look at that beauty. And I'm talking about all 3 things in that photo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Did you know that both those guys, both of them are left-handed?
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, you know what? It is kind of neat.
It is.
Look at him. Same glasses, same grin.
Cute kid, dude. Look at that.
Same physique.
Yeah. Same height, almost.
Yes, almost. And same orientation.
That's right. So far.
No, I'm talking about left-handedness.
Yeah, me too.
Beastie boy.
Speaking of orientation, who are we? I am Sean. I'm the CCFR Provincial Coordinator for the great province of Saskatchewan, professional volunteer, father, faithful partner, ag equipment specialist, and lover of all things that make boom.
I'm John. I'm a journeyman electrician, CCFR field officer, VP of the Regina Fish and Game League, project mentor at IET, firearms business owner, M14 Medic Firearms, sports shooter, hunter, and a certifiable rifle lady. I'm also very, very tired.
Aw, Muffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, how
Been a
come?
long day.
Would it have
a long day?
have anything to do with the 7 hours worth of driving today?
Yeah, maybe. And
Yeah.
the 9 hours of shooting after in between.
Glorious.
It was a fabulous day.
Yes, good. I'm Rooster. I'm a CCFR field officer. I'm in construction management, at least for now. I like precision long-range stuff because it's about the only discipline I don't suck at. I'm a hand loader, wildcat enthusiast, and I hunt when I can.
Cool. Mark, who the hell are you?
Yeah, Mark Skills, sales and e-commerce manager at Triggertech, coming up on 3 years soon. Being there, sports shooter, hunter, father. I heard you guys have cool intros, like listen to your podcast all week, and I was going to do something really cool. And I'm just,
It's like way too late in the day for me to think.
yeah, you guys have this down like scripted, right? And I was going to do something cool.
Hey, you had your chance, man.
I didn't prepare or not.
You know what though, dude? You have a job. Like I always told Sarah, don't fire me in the company I work for. But I always told Sarah that if I could find a sales role in a firearm equipment manufacturer, whatever it is, that would be my dream job. And jealous.
As far as I'm concerned, firearm parts are essential services here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of essential services, we are drinking alcohol tonight.
Yes.
What are we drinking? I got Jim Beam and Coke Zero.
I finally got my rig hand rum.
I gotta tell that story. So So we all showed up at your range today, and I was supposed to meet John last night to deliver a bunch of stuff to you, Kurt, and I might have been a little intoxicated, so I couldn't have adequately drove over.
You're doing the pre-show run, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
24 hours before.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, and didn't end. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I figured I felt bad, so I got up, got the kid ready, and drove to your range all 3.5 hours of it, and dropped your shit off and saw the beauty of a facility you've got. So props to you, buddy. That was awesome. And I met
I'm a fortunate boy for sure. Yeah,
it was your first trip out there, wasn't it, Sean?
That was the first one ever, and now I know where it is. So now you can never get rid of me.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want to, buddy.
But anyway, friends of the show, Oscar was there. That fucker came from Alberta, and then Jens was there as well.
Look at Oscar. It's not that drained,
Yeah, the top is smaller than the bottom.
That's what she said.
It's only 4 drinks or so. It's actually pretty good. What did you guys think of it? It's strong and it's not as sugary, spicy as other spiced rums.
That's true.
Believe it or not, we haven't shared it, Kurt. That there was only one bottle of spiced rum. I think John got the actual rum.
I got the brum, which is what I'm drinking tonight. That and some ginger.
And then I got the
I see.
Whiskey. See,
I got the spiced stuff.
Yeah, I know. Mark's that odd man out here.
Sorry, buddy.
Well, I did reach out to Rig Hand to see if they could do a run on the whiskey, for a case of the whiskey.
Nice.
To the Basil Hayden today.
Right.
And cool. Not mixing it with anything.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
The Borgia.
Cheers, fellas.
Hey, guys.
But I did reach out to Rig Hand, Steve and Shane. This is more so for you guys. I reached out to them to see if they could do a case run of this, and they haven't got back to me yet. So we need to. I need to follow up on that. But if that happens, Mark, you're getting a bottle of that, maybe 4. We'll see. But cool. John, what are you drinking?
I'm on the Rig Hand Brum and ginger tonight. So
nice. Nice.
Tons of fun.
That's a good mix, eh?
Well, I'm just my shit's too weak tonight for me to start drinking it straight. I'd probably crush that bottle and be a slovenly mess.
Slovenly?
Slovenly.
Wow.
Well, I may not have crushed a Red Bull before this. So that's a long, hard, like that highway, that Outlook highway is terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I love the spot that's the part that's freshly paved like last year and has potholes that will literally tear the tire off your friggin' truck.
Welcome to Saskatchewan, right?
Yeah. Anyways, guys, you can always find us on Facebook, facebook.com/gunningaround. I'd love to hear your feedback in the review. You can also email the show at info@gunningaround.com and visit us on our cool website, gunningaround.com. Without your feedback, how can we possibly improve? I think Kurt is still looking for 5 out of 5 stars, or is this Sean still, or what?
I'm getting up on that stream.
We get this week, just out of curiosity.
We didn't have any. Well,
Really?
we actually had 3 reviews, but nobody left a review. They just gave us the stars.
Oh, so we don't see
So
who
I
they're
can't
with.
read it. Yeah.
So they're not getting a fucking sticker.
No, but Kelsey Knelson did, and I still have to mail his shit out, and I haven't done it this time. Although I do have the stamps right here, so I gotta get on that.
So we also have some feedback. I guess these are what, Facebook posts or something like that.
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, these are all from our Facebook page. Actually, Russ is listening right now. He commented up there.
Shout out to Russ. Thanks, Russ.
Thanks,
Great
buddy.
to listen to. Learning slowly as I'm old. About rifles and handguns, I have been a shotgun shooter my life, but do have rifles and handguns also. And Jens, a friend of the show, I'm going to call him a friend of the show because
calm down, Jens. I got you on here, man.
Right away. 3, 2, 1. Great guys, funny and interesting topics. Actually, I think he says it more like great guys, but no, it's not like that either.
It was more like
it's not at all like that.
Yes, they are great guys. Yes.
This is the extent of my German.
Yeah.
So that's all I can do. Oh,
Luke, did you see this?
what's that?
It's Saskatchewan. What's so bad about the highways? A slight turn in the road or pave patch that in your mind is a mountain.
Well, see, the problem is, Luke, is they do
travel between Kenniston and Outlook and then come back and say that.
What they do is they go down the highway with the highway's repair truck, and they put these orange signs in the ditches so that you know where the bumps and potholes that will literally swallow your truck are.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometime during the course of the summer, they might come along and fix it.
No, they won't even fix it. They'll dump gravel in it one year and then another layer of gravel the next year. And by that time, all that is settled.
Yeah. No kidding.
Right out. But yeah. Get to
just in time for the spring frost heaves.
Them little orange diamonds. They're actually red now, Mike says. But yeah, that's pretty close.
I think it depends on the size of the pothole.
That's what she said. Speaking of potholes,
all right.
M14 Medic Firearms, proud founding sponsor of the show, serving the Canadian gun industry since 2016. M14 Medic Firearms specializes in M14 pattern rifles, as well as Grand rifles. How now, brown cow? This is your one-stop shop for all your M14 gun plumber needs. If he doesn't do it, he knows someone who does. The Human Torch went and applied for a bank loan. Another Anchorman reference. Anyway, cool. Kurt's not paying attention.
No,
I'm not.
I'll do it. TACOM Canada, we're still going so far. Way to go, Kurt.
Day by day, man.
I'm doing important note taking right now.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Clerical duties.
Okay, we'll bill you later.
All right. Wait, is that anyway?
Hey, there you go, Mike. M14
Thanks, Mike.
Medic saved my Norinco from kabooming.
Yeah, that's preferable to saving it after it kabooms. But yeah. Glad I could help you out, Mike.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, this is kind of for you, too. We're going to TACOM, if it's still on. Do you guys have a booth there?
Yeah, we've been there since the start, I guess, for 2 years now. Last 2 years we've been there. Actually, the first year was at their facility, their shop, which is like down the street from me. And then last year, the International Center. They do the again. It's the same weekend. I think it's the same weekend as the Meaford PRS match again. I think again last year it was. So I
September 11th to 13th.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Meaford match is the same weekend again.
That's
So I'll
planning.
Yeah, so I try and get a bit there Friday for a bit, and then I go shoot. It's only a 2-hour drive to shoot a national match, so I'm not
nice.
I'm not missing
Well,
it.
if we go, you're invited to the after party, the gunning around after party.
Cool.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. If things change, we'll be there. The company will be there, and I'll be there in some shape or form for a bit.
Okay,
so,
I'm not going to try and pronounce this guy's name, but he just says, yes, it is, unfortunately. Andrzej Slupka?
And Andrzej Slupka.
Hey, that was closer than me. That's better than your German, man.
I can do Slavic, not bad.
He just punched the screen.
And then Shane says, look at that sexy bastard. Hold on. Which, oh my God.
He means 4 of us.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you have to be more specific, Shane.
Maybe he was talking about Steve.
Anyway, so yeah, we're going to TACOM so far, unless they cancel it. So,
you guys there last year? You guys there last year?
No.
No. It was pretty cool. It was honestly, it was way bigger than the year before, and I think this year's be even bigger too. And it was a great show. The guys at Farms Canada did an awesome job organizing, putting things on, and it was a great show. I mean, lineups were around the building and stuff. So definitely,
they had 80,000 people through the door last year. I heard. Is that correct?
Oh, wow.
And they're expecting 100 plus this year. Well, until the COVID thing, I'm not sure what's going to happen in September by then. But I've got my fingers crossed that it's a go.
Yeah, Fred's been doing a bang-up job growing that show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's giving us a booth, so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're sharing it between other podcasters, but I digress. Cool. So obviously we have Mark here from Triggertech. Triggertech is our main topic today, mainly because they make kick-ass products, right? We're not going to bring people on unless we firmly believe in their shit. So we're not chills.
Or we're very desperate.
Yeah, that's right. Like, it's funny because I think what kind of prompted this whole meetup here was I don't have a personal relationship with Shane and Steve at EM. Kurt does, right? He's kind of our intermediary that way. And I was looking for a AR trigger, and I wanted a Triggertech because I've got a Triggertech in my WK180, and I've got 2 primary triggers in 2 700s. And I was like, you know what? I don't generally like to pay full retail if I can help it. So I'm like, maybe Kurt could use his contacts to weasel me into the deal. And I got a way better deal than I was expecting. So
I guess you have a furnace company on next week, right?
That's right. That's right. Fucking rights we do.
And then a car repair shop the next week.
But yeah, I just want to say thanks to you guys. That was a screaming awesome thing for you guys to do.
Well, let's fully digress, John. What Mark has done for us, if that's okay, Mark. Can I share?
Yeah.
So, we had a conversation last week in the middle of my reloading frenzy, and I said, because Shane graciously hooked me up with your contact info, and I said, Shane or Mark, what do you want to cover? All this, blah blah blah. We went over the show, and then we want to do some TNR stuff. We're going to start branching out to YouTube, doing some how-to videos and that sort of thing. But Mark straight up said, yeah, I'll do some TNR stuff. And he sent me a bunch of stuff. Sent us a bunch of stuff, not just me. I gave one of these to Kurt, by the way, Mark, so I don't have it. But the Abbey 60s, I don't know if you guys can see that.
I actually stole that today.
Oh, so John's got it. So this one is going in my competition gun because it's freaking awesome and sexy as hell.
Yeah.
And then speaking of 700 triggers, where is it? There it is. He gave us one of these to TNR, the diamond.
Yeah.
See? Shiny. Awesome. I didn't open it yet, by the way.
Watch it.
No, we're gonna work on
that. What's wrong with you?
Get some videos up. But this is what got me rock hard.
You're not supposed to build on that. Oh, okay, right.
Diamond and competitive. Oh my God!
All right.
I'm gonna. So, so in our conversation, I said, "Hey, so Mark, when do you want us to send these back?" And he's like, "Yeah, when forever. You can't keep them forever."
After you guys have your splooge on it.
And I'm like, "Oh." And then that's when that happened in my pants. And then I agree. So thank you, sir. Plus all the swag, and then the catalogs and. What else we got? We got a catalog, and if anyone needs anything, you can go to EM Precision Rifles. Look how badass that catalog is. Yeah. How do I get one of those patches, Mark?
They're inside the trigger boxes you have. So every trigger gets a patch.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. Awesome. That's
cool. So this is my spare trigger that I have on the bench, and it's a primary. I actually paid my own money for this trigger.
For once, you slob.
Yeah, great. But it's funny because I went to the local gun store, and they just got their Triggertech ordering, and I'm like, God damn it, I need one of those. And they're like, okay, sure. And it was, I can't remember how many dollars it was, how many hundreds of dollars. And I grab it, and I pay for it. I bring it home, and I throw it on the bench. Then like 2 days later, a mutual friend of mine and Kurt's, Andy, was over. And Andy and I were going through some stuff, and my bench is usually just a big pile of mess, right? And I'm going through it, and I went, oh, look, here's that Triggertech. And I look at the box, I'm like, wait a second, this isn't the box. This isn't the box with the Triggertech in it I just bought the other day. Look around a little bit. Oh, look, two Triggertech primary triggers. But I wound up sending one to Kurt, I think is what I did there. But
yes, you did.
Nice.
But yeah, it was so like I'm already a Triggertech fanboy, to be honest with you. I just wish you made more products for more different platforms, if that makes sense.
So speaking of making triggers,
I actually traded Jason Anderson my Jewel for his Triggertech. I'm like, he's like, are you sure? I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know. Yes, I'm sure. Just give me that goddamn thing. It's funny. But I was at the poker rally about 4 years ago.
Just John, going to your point there about getting new platforms, and we got a lot of new stuff coming out, especially next month or so as well too. So we really are branching out into new platforms. So this is the year for that. So I think the next few weeks we're doing AR-50 trigger, a bottom safety REM 700 trigger. Our Weatherby Mark V triggers are coming out. We're kind of revamping our AR line as well. So the AR-10, the MCX, and the MPX trigger coming out too. Coming down the line, the pipe, we got Tika and Ruger coming out towards the end of the year. We also got a Kimber trigger coming out next month or two as well.
Wow,
the Model 84. So it's been a busy year, and I think the last couple of years, especially when things have really started taking off more so than other years, just trying to keep up with demand and growing and maintain that quality has been really a lot of our focus. As part of new product development gets sometimes pushed back a bit when we're expanding and doing other things like that too. So this is a year for new stuff coming out. So stay tuned.
So one question I have for you: the Ruger, is that for the M77 or is that all platforms, or what are you thinking that way?
Not sure yet. We're kind of still in the early stages on that one. I know we have some prototypes, so I'm not sure exactly which ones they've seen.
I could tell you right now that if you guys come out with a Ruger 1022 trigger, like an insert cartridge,
that's what we get.
I'm in for 3.
Okay. Yeah. Have me back on the show then, I guess.
Exactly.
Cool. I'll even pay money for them. That's how good they are. I'll just put it that way.
Oh, and also our REM 700 2-stage is coming out soon as well. That's be a pretty big release for us.
Yeah.
It's a pretty neat trigger. We got some new patents in it as well, some new technology, and it's been a while in development, but it's a pretty awesome trigger. So we got 4 points of safety in it, and I guess a couple of the note too are so when you're unsafe, your first stage is a first stage safety lockout, so you're not even moving that lever at all, so you know you're unsafe right away. Also, it's kind of neat too. Until you actuate the first stage, you're technically unsafe. So once the lever moves, it'll clear a ticker, and then the gun can fire. So unless you move that lever at all, the gun can't fire.
Okay. Is that the technical name for that part, the ticker?
It is, yeah.
I just want to be sure.
Yeah.
So, to be clear, you called that the ticker, not the trickler, not the tickler.
Right. Yeah.
Not the tickler.
It might tickle your fancy.
The speed of the finger movement makes all the difference.
That's right. Depth is important too, John.
And then the first and second stage will both be adjustable from the outside of the firearm through a trigger guard too. So the first stage will be right in the lever part. So same adjustment, super easy. The Axel D-Dent system. So it's pretty cool. They'll be in our diamond and special models available. So really excited for that one. So I hope the next month or two, those will be available for you guys as well.
So just to show you, we got the man, the myth, legend. Anything for 1022? Mike Hymick said yes, 1022 trigger.
Yeah, it's Luke,
Luke says I didn't want to bring up 1022. Now that I'm into that too, John. LOL.
Yeah, that one's in the works. So
Like I know I've got a 1022 with a Timney trigger in it, and it's a cartridge drop in, and I had a hell of a time getting that thing tweaked just right. But until I shot my first Triggertech, I was a Timney fanboy, right? So it just that was the best thing going, honestly, for like a primary, like what you guys call your primary trigger. The Timney was the best thing on the market until you guys came along, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, they make good triggers too. So
well, they do make good triggers, but I just don't think they're as good. And when you're paying more money for one product over the other, you want it to perform better, not worse.
Yeah, I think we've introduced some new technology and found a bit of a better mousetrap, we believe, to making a better trigger. So it's tough for the industry to find some new innovations, and really make a big difference in this industry now. So finding those things is great, and we've been fortunate to find that and roll with it. No pun intended, because the roller technology.
Sorry, before we dive too much into products and stuff, let's talk a little bit about Triggertech as an entity. How did you guys get started
so we're 8 years now in business. So a lot of people don't know, we actually started in crossbows. So our inventor, Matt Flopowski, was a big hunter and stuff, and shoot his crossbow with a really creepy trigger, and thought there had to be a better way. His background's like mechanical engineering. So he came up with the idea of putting a roller between the trigger and the sear. So that's why we're not rolling friction as opposed to sliding friction. And so we started there, and then moved into REM 700s, and then we got to AR-15s 3 or 4 years ago, I guess, 3 or 4 years ago. And then this year we're branching out a lot more. So still a small to mid-sized company, but growing quite a bit. So.
And where are you located?
Right in Toronto.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just outside of Toronto, Mississauga.
Do you know how many employees you guys got?
Off the top of my head, no.
But you're a good Canadian company, like.
Yeah, fully Canadian. Everyone's most people are all from Toronto, I guess. Live there, I guess. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, there you go. I didn't know that. Started in crossbows, and now we're in boomsticks. That's awesome. Yeah.
We still have an Excalibur trigger that we offer as well. So.
Cool. Andrew's got a bit of a question here. Is Mark / Triggertech coming out west at all, or are you staying in Ontario this year? Well, COVID, I think he's kind of stuck.
Yeah, we don't actually want him here if he's got the COVID.
Yeah.
Well, Rooster's Rifle Ranch is a COVID-free zone, so I'm sure we could make the trip over here and spend a day or two at the ranch. Yeah.
I could bring the portable hotel.
Yes.
Running water and hot.
The Canadian Sharpshooter Classic, the PRS match out there. So hard to get up for that one. All my stateside matches are not happening right now. Yeah. So, I think I'll be out west, Andrew. Hopefully I can see you out there, big guy, wherever you are.
There you go. Well, cool. So you've touched on a little bit of the product offering. What's your go-to product? Like, what's your number one seller right now?
As far as like volume wise, it's our REM 700 stuff. We do a lot of work with OEM clients, like Christensen, Bergara, and stuff. They're using all their triggers, so those guys are great customers of ours. So volume wise, REM 700s are bread and butter for sure. Definitely the lion's share of our sales. But as we keep branching out now and stuff, each product line is growing. But definitely Rem 700s for sure. But who knows? We'll see with all the new stuff coming out, right?
Well, yeah, with the Ruger line and all that. Did you say, were we bringing a Mini 14 trigger out, or?
Not really the works just yet. But I'm sure we're gonna get to everything eventually. But Tika, that's another one coming out too, about towards the end of the year. So that'll be a big release for us too.
Okay.
Yeah, M14 triggers. If you're ever in that mind frame too, right?
Flat no.
There's only so much I can do with a goddamn M14 trigger.
You can get to it eventually. There's just bigger fish to fry, I think. And,
Yeah,
I think you guys would be surprised at how big the M14 trigger market could be.
Absolutely, I think it is too. I think there's a lot of them out there for sure, but it's just not on our list just yet. But like I said, I'm sure we'll get to it.
Let's get to a couple questions here, like Kurt highlighted.
Mike says, what about the Bergera B14 rimfire? You did say that you're in with Bergera.
We are, yeah. So I mean, our trigger will work with it. I mean, the rimfire one is based off the Rem 700 footprint. So Bergera uses our triggers in all of their Premier series as well too.
Okay.
And
Okay. Next one from Keegan. Any love for Savage triggers in the future?
yes.
I think he asked that up in a little earlier in the show about the Acu trigger. He wanted to see if he had.
Right. There was somebody asked about the upgrade for that.
Yes, that is on the list. It's not on probably the list this year, but it's definitely on the list.
Yeah, well, you got to admit it's a pretty popular platform too. Behind the 700, I'm sure, but
yeah,
I don't know, Keegan. What kind of people own a Savage really?
Cool.
We've discussed.
Well, I'll be honest with you. The people that care about their triggers more than anything else coming out of the factory right now. So.
That is sweet. That's a truck patch right there.
And then Tanner asked, will the Tika trigger be a single stage or a 2-stage?
Probably single off the start was what we'll be releasing. I guess we might do a 2-stage. 2 stages is a totally different animal design-wise and stuff. I think if you see a picture of our single stage and our 2-stage, one's like the basic Terminator, and one's like the T5000 or whatever the cool one is.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more engineering and stuff that goes into it, and they're a bit of a challenge. So imagine it's just a single stage for Tika, and see what happens after that.
So see how it sells.
Yeah, exactly. So
then Jens is asking about SL8 or G36.
Just buy an AR, Jesus, Jens.
Yeah,
listen, that strong German trait. He's not going to let it go. You know that.
Yeah, the thing with making a trigger, like it's a lot of time and resources to develop a trigger, and I guess just looking at it business wise, where are the volumes and stuff. There's a lot of the G36 is a great weapon. It definitely could use a trigger for sure. But I think we just still as a new company and still branching out, a lot of big platforms we haven't gotten into yet. And once we kind of cover all those, then we can look at doing other modifications for more unique platforms and stuff.
Well, the way you're growing so far. I wouldn't dismiss anything at this point. You've gotten good reviews.
SKS trigger,
yeah. Mike.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the problem with the platform like the SKS is it's really hard, I think, to make a cartridge trigger for an SKS.
Yeah,
sure.
Because everything's part of the whole trigger group, so you'd have to manufacture the whole trigger group, and I don't think. Yeah. That's
here's your $200 SKS and a $400 trigger, I guess.
Right.
You'd be surprised how many guys might actually spend $400 on a trigger for an SKS.
Yeah. We're looking at the Model 783 right now as well too, and there's a lot of volume in it. So
yeah. Oh, what do you got there?
Yeah. Listen.
SKS trigger.
More SKS shit. Yeah.
Luke says, Rooster, I sadly admit I have 2 Savages, an Axis 223 and a 99 C308 passed down from my great uncle. You know what? I like to bug my buddies who have Savages about owning Savages. I don't own a Savage. Listen, there's lots of great things about them. Steve Emblin included. He was Steve's a bit of a man after my own heart. He's got that engorged fuck you center of his brain, where everybody else was running tuned up Remingtons. He's like, fuck you, I can make it shoot just as well or better with a Savage. There's lots of good things. I simply cannot get past the looks of a Savage. I hate him, and that's it. Guys like Keegan, he's a young guy. I just like bugging the piss out of him. Same with my friend Brent Fraser. He's got a Savage. I just have to bug him. That's all.
No, if Savage wants to sponsor
you can
the
keep
show,
your Savage.
But if Savage wants to sponsor the show, we'll all be shooting Savages tomorrow.
Oh, fucking
so,
love him.
To be clear. So that's one thing that a lot of guys are asking, what about a Savage trigger? I've owned a couple Savages, and that Accu trigger is pretty damn good out of the box. So I could see a company like Triggertech saying there's no point in making a trigger for that right now when there's so many other platforms that need a better trigger, right? So
I don't know. Maybe I haven't shot enough of those Accu triggers, but the few that I have, I wanted to bend them over my fucking bumper.
Well, it's that paddle. Once you're used to that paddle and you've cut 2 coils off that trigger spring, they're not bad.
All right, they're not bad. They're not
okay,
bad.
We're not talking about Accu triggers today. We're talking about
sorry.
That's right.
Triggertech. So can you walk us through? See, you have various levels of trigger. Can you walk us through what makes each one, special, if you want to put it that way?
Yeah, like the different models.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll start on the REM 700s. So we have our primary, our special, and our diamonds. So the main difference between all of them is the pull weights, right? So the lower you go in pull weight, the more expensive the model is going to be. Quite a bit more engineering, machine time goes into development, goes into making a trigger that's 4 ounces, safe and reliable. So don't get too much into the machining processes too, but that's the basic difference, is that there's a lot more. The geometry, I guess, their tolerances are a lot tighter on the diamond than they would be on the primary. There's a lot less engagement at the lower pull weight. So, the 4-inch trigger, everything's got to be basically 5 of the critical engagement surfaces have to be made up perfectly. Where the primary, it's a lot more forgiving. You're at 1.5 pounds or 4 pounds. So that'll be the difference. Same with our AR line too. So regular combat, we have our fixed pull weight ones. We have a combat and a competitive. So 5.5 and a 3.5 fixed ones, which I believe you got the competitive 3.5. So we have those one there too. Then the adjustable models kind of go slightly up in price. So adjustability models, you have a range from 2.5 to 5 on the adaptable. You have 1.5 pounds to 4 on the diamond. Same idea too when building the triggers. A lot more goes into developing a lower pull weight trigger and stuff like that too. So
without getting into too much detail, do you guys machine all parts in house, or?
For the most part, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we do have some vendors and do stuff too, but we do a lot in house. A lot of secondaries. We do produce a lot of things in house, so we control as much as we can with all the EDMs and stuff like that too. With very rigorous production and testing processes, I would say it goes above and beyond our testing procedures and technology and proprietary devices that we've developed. The resolution we have on the performance of the trigger too is unbelievable. What we can tell.
And just looking at that, like I pull out the AR diamond here just to fiddle fuck with it a little bit, and just feeling it, you can tell that a lot has gone into the manufacture of this, and that the QA is going to be phenomenal. Like I've got no problems with throwing this in and expecting it to go 50,000 rounds, no problem. Like
and it should. Yeah, I mean it's all stainless steel internals as well too. Our triggers are meant to run dry because we have that roller between the trigger and the sear. So they run dry, don't clean them, don't lube them. Like if they get excessively dirty, sure, light solvent, some compressed air, the usual stuff like that. But just let them work. I mean, because of the roller between the trigger and the sear as well, it's a lot longer service life, because traditional triggers have 2 surfaces sliding, right? And then they break. Where we have the roller between here. So there's less wear on those critical engagement parts too, so a much longer service life too. We got some with like 750,000 rounds on it. Same pull weight at the same time. Nowhere in the engagement surfaces or anything.
750,000 rounds.
Yeah.
Wow. So so just looking at this one, is the body anodized aluminum or is it stainless?
Yep.
It is anodized.
Yeah, the body is aluminum, anodized aluminum, and all the internals are stainless steel.
Because it reminds me a lot of the Apex trigger that I put in my M&P. It looks exactly the same material as that. So I venture to say that thing's been rock solid for me. What about the actual hammer itself? That's stainless, you said?
So those are they're not stainless.
Okay.
We have our own proprietary MIM blend that we use on there that we developed ourselves to give us the characteristics on there. So they were stainless.
This is injected molded. That you cannot tell that this is a MIM hammer. That there's no marks on it. Like, wow.
Yeah, so it's something we developed ourselves that we switched over. So we got our own blend on there with give us much better performance than what we were using the bar stock before. So we're pretty happy with what we developed on that part too.
So that's me's got a question here. Will it work in the Maccabee? Yes, it will, because the Maccabee takes standard AR triggers. So it'll take a Triggertech AR or gas gun model trigger. So Luke says, what's the warranty policy like with Triggertech? So I guess that would be a good question.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a product lifetime warranty on all of our triggers. Excellent customer service program here. You guys have any problems or any questions or something, send it back. We'll get you a new one. We'll get it serviced for you. Or we don't get a lot of warranties. We don't get a lot coming in. So we do get them. The whole team reviews them and stuff, and we look at them as a team. But like I said, the customer service is great. We got a guy working there now named Ed, who's awesome. Takes care of everyone great. So for lifetime warranty, we have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you want to try it out and for whatever reason you're not happy, just send it back for a full refund as well.
Hey, you guys remember when I was teasing Mark about the ticker being a technical term?
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it's a fucking technical term.
Go figure. Mark has read the product literature.
All right. So here's my slice of humble pie. Thank you very much.
Steve Emlin from EM Precision Rifle says, out of all the ones we have installed, there has only been one that's gone back, and Mark didn't ask questions. He just sent one out. So that speaks volumes right there. That's
for sure.
The difference.
Well, we have a great customer base and stuff, and we really appreciate the support we get from you guys and the feedback too. And we're happy to support you guys. And like I said, we wouldn't be here without our customers, so we got to take care of them.
Speaking of customers, I've got to ask this: do you guys do any military contracts or anything like that?
We do some stuff. We do.
Well, yeah, without getting into detail, obviously.
Some stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, speaking of, since you are exporting product and stuff, how has that been working with the current government we have now?
It's fine. I mean, it's kind of separate. I mean, obviously, with the current government, what they're doing by trying to get rid of things, we probably won't be affected by it because we're in firearms manufacturer and stuff. As much other than sales, I guess, of ARs if things they get banned in Canada. But yeah, as far as we do export globally, it's a process through the EXCOL department of exports, whatever. So we do it globally. It's a bunch of paperwork, getting permits, takes some time. But yeah, we're all over the world.
But no, you haven't had trouble domestically with dealing with like the firearms, the regulatory boards or anything like that, eh?
Nope. No, I mean triggers aren't really like a controlled good within Canada. So like a child can buy a trigger off our website or go in the store and buy one. So it's not that they get leaving Canada. Yes, obviously. There's ITAR and the Department of Commerce, and then our EXCOL for exporting globally. But as far as laws and regulations stuff, no.
What about the shit Canadian dollar? Is that going to affect you guys much?
Most of our sales are stateside, so.
Yeah, well, that's a good question, actually. Well, actually, Oren's got one here. high-end Remy for 700 competition. What's the pound weight on the competition trigger for the 700?
Well,
so like you've got
the
diamond. The diamond goes from 4 pounds to what, Sean?
4 ounces to 32 ounces.
Okay, and then from up one heavier pull from there would be the competition or
your special.
The
There's
special
different names for the AR and REM. So this the mid. Well, I guess the mid pull weight one would be our special, which is 1 pound to 3.5.
Okay,
and then our primary is 1.5 pounds to 4. So only a half pound difference. Just a note with the diamond trigger, it's only for cloned actions only. We don't offer it with a bolt release, so it won't work on your factory REM 700.
Okay.
So you would have to buy the special, which is the pounds, goes down to pounds low end, but that is offered with a bolt release. So
okay.
So maybe it won't work in Furiosa then.
No, it won't.
No. So like it's
darn, you'll have to put that in my TAC 30, Sean.
Shucks, hey John.
Shucks. I'll tell you what, Sean, I'll buy you a competition for your Furiosa or whatever the heck the other one was.
Remember, I still owe you money, so
yeah, it's okay. You just owe me more.
Or you guys could just quit fighting and give it to me, and that would be the end of it.
That's right. That's right.
Don't make me come down there.
This is a great opportunity. We're 46 minutes in. We haven't given away the first trigger yet. So Ryan still isn't doing it, but I'm going to put his name in the hat. Right, James? So what do you say? Should we get one going here?
Do it.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen.
Also share.
Yeah.
There. So we're going to have the big back here. Oh, where is it? There we go. Ooh, craziness. Okay, so here's the spreadsheet here. So as you gents and ladies can see, we have the cells 1, 2, 82. Yes, I threw Ryan's name in just because I'm a nice.
There you go, Ryan.
You're so nice.
So then we go here. We go to random.org. We'll just reload it so you guys don't think I'm fucking you around.
That's where Sean gets his dates too, just so everyone knows. Sorry, his companionship.
That's a good trip. So here, 1 to 82. We have no one else. Okay, this is it. We're going for it. Here we go. 21. So let's go back here.
It's always 21.
Black John.
Oh, look at that.
Who is it?
Matthew Shirley.
Shut the front door.
Twice though.
He wants a diamond for an AR. Friend of the show, Matt Shirley. He's a field officer here in Regina with
Sean, and he's also a director at our club. And yeah. So, there you go, Matt. You won one. So stay tuned, guys, because we're doing another one at the end of the show.
Sean, say that again.
What?
You're doing another one at the end of the show, you said?
Yeah, we got one more to go.
One more to go.
So
whoever at the end,
and I'm going to tabulate. We have 35 people listening right now, but I'm going to tabulate at the end. Whoever's still here, you're going to be put into another spreadsheet. We'll go from there.
Special one.
I love that he's listening. That's awesome.
Okay.
Andrew Craig, what do we have to do for a trigger then? Well, you know, it involves goats and serious humiliation.
That or 42 handies at the local one.
Well, that's it. There's an initiation to every good club.
That's right.
Hey guys, this is the guy Andrew who just sent me this on Facebook. Here's Andrew Craig.
Okay.
That's good.
Awesome.
And then he just comments.
I'll expect to see that face across Walmart in Canada.
Good times.
Oh, that's great.
Man, he wants a trigger.
Our viewers dropped off from 35 to 28.
Apparently, they weren't listening about the extra draw at the end of the show.
That's right.
That's right. No, Craig, we were talking about handies.
Yeah, not
well.
You
know what? You probably would have to do less blowies than handies, but whatever.
Anyway.
Awesome.
Better to pay cash than owe these guys a favor.
That's a good story.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Oscar is our web designer. An IT guy. So
I'll take goat stuff for 500, Alex.
Andrew, just saying, no gag reflex.
We've gone to a dark place, my friends.
Wow. Mark's getting a call from the CEO Monday morning.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. Good. I'm glad Matt won that. He deserved it.
Yeah.
So okay, so you were talking about the roller system in this. So how does that separate you from your competitors? We're not going to name names.
Well, nobody else has a ticker. I can guarantee that.
I'm sure if they did, they'd call it a sticker. But anyway,
that's the special sauce in this trigger.
Oh,
It's a fucking ticker.
So yeah, what separates us different is that we do have the patent on the engagement. So we have that roller between the trigger and the sear. So like I say, every other trigger is a sliding friction trigger. So two surfaces rub together, they break, the gun goes off. We put a little roller in there. So essentially our system is just camming out. So that's what allows us to have zero creep in our triggers. That's super crisp break. We're not susceptible to dust and contaminants like other triggers are as well.
That's right. I was just going to say
that. Kind of stuck in a sliding trigger. There's some dirt and grit. The trigger's going to bind up. It's going to freeze up. It's done. Our roller kind of acts as a bit of filter. We'll kind of roll things through. So if you do get super dusty, your trigger's kind of gritty or something like that in the field, dry fire it, 5 or 10 times. Most of the time, that's just going to push out anything that's caught in the engagement. We've got some channeling in our housing for the things that kind of exit the housing as well. So I think the resilience in harsh environments and the zero creep are great benefits. I think
if you're doing a skeletonized build, one of these would be phenomenal for it, especially if you're going to run that fucker hard.
I bet you that thing weighs like 2 or 3 ounces.
It's anodized aluminum housing, which would be the majority of the weight, and that it's literally like, I don't know, size of one of my nuts. Like it's phenomenal. Like
no reference. What?
I don't know what else to think.
Well then.
Well, Matt, I guess we have to draw again for that trigger. One thing I remember reading in I think it was the Precision Rifle blog or something like that is that all the Timney sponsored shooters are given a trigger for their rifle and then an additional trigger for a backup. And the idea being that if another competitor at a PRS match goes down for whether they're running a Jewel or a Timney or whatever else, the Triggertech competitor is right there to say, here's a Triggertech trigger, give that a try. And that you're actually earning a lot of goodwill or in the sport, or a lot more of a following in the sport due to that, right? So is that an accurate statement, or is that something that's just completely made up that I heard somewhere on the internet?
No, right. It is something we do. So we call them match savers. So with our sponsored shooters, we have a couple of dozen or a few dozen of them now, I guess. So they each get an extra trigger. We laser match saver on it. So if they're in a match and someone's trigger goes down, they can save the match. We either lend the trigger or give the trigger to them, and stuff too. So a lot of guys use it a lot of times. It's a great way to help other shooters in the sport, help each other out too. So it's something we're happy just to give to our sponsored shooters, and they use it accordingly.
Cool.
Nice.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, Mark. One of your sponsored shooters, I'm going to give him a shout out here, Ryan Barch, and he's up north in northern. Where does he live now? Up by Kindersley, Robert area. Anyway, he hawks you guys hard, and I wasn't even looking at you guys until like when I started 3-gun, until he started hawking it, and I'm like, "What's this shit?" And I started looking, and holy God, it was So shout out to Ryan. He did a hell of a job. You were every penny out of him. So.
Yeah, I talk to Ryan regularly. Stand-up guy, world-class shooter. Super great. Really represents our company well and stuff too. So we're very happy to have him. So Ryan, if you're watching or you hear this, thanks again.
But he does also run a combine that I don't have to fix. So,
oh,
They don't do blue down there.
Green. His wife too. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he does a hell of a job. And actually, anyway, we won't go through that part. This is a phenomenal trigger, man. This is awesome. I'm going to throw this in my competition.
Sean's just finger blasting that thing like crazy.
I want to install it. I should go grab my blower right now and just slap her in and see how she goes. But
so Mark, about international stuff, like where you said you're all over the world, but where are you seeing most of your business with Triggertech?
Oh, the States. Yeah,
it is
by far. Everything's in the States
for sure.
We have a lot of close OEM partners there too that really drive all of our volumes too, and some big accounts we're into too. So by far, everything's in the States. But as far as globally, you'll find us in every continent and stuff too. So we just picked up Spur out of Sweden. Actually distributes for us in Sweden now.
Oh wow,
good for you guys.
A really good partner. Doing some distribution for us out there and growing that international market. I think we have some like a Tika trigger, especially for the European market. That'll really help explode things there. I mean, it's Rem 700s, North America thing. Europe, it's not, it's like a Savage or something, I guess, over there. But
made in Finland, right? Finland's right there.
Yeah. So,
Africa, they're starting to get in the PRS game now, eh?
Yeah, they had a match there. They had a match there every year, I think, and there's one in Ireland now. Get to. Yeah, I'd love to get to one in Ireland. But Africa, we got a couple people in Africa that do stuff there too.
There's a question from Andrew again. Not vulgar. Let's leave it at that.
Yay, Andrew!
Right. Obviously,
no gag, Andrew.
No gag reflex. Yeah. No GR. Yeah. He says, obviously, Triggertech triggers have a huge following in competition shooting. Is there much of an application in hunting?
Absolutely. I mean, it's I would say competition hunting are probably our two biggest markets. Like I said, Christensen rifles. They're all producing hunting rifles. They got some precision stuff coming up now too. But I think the benefits too. I mean, sure, competition having that zero creep, that super crisp trigger, is excellent. That's great. But also the benefits also being hunting too, of having that trigger that's not going to go down like other triggers will go down. It's a lot more resilient. Our triggers run dry. There's no oil or lube or anything inside there. If you're in super, super cold weather, your trigger's not going to freeze up on you. You get dirt and dust, you drop your rifle. We had some guy drop his rifle off BC in the salty, water and muddy, got up and he still completed his hunt and the trigger was just fine. I mean, it's so having that resilience, if you're doing some big hunts and stuff in extreme weather and conditions, having a trigger is a bit more rugged and not susceptible to dust and contaminants and temperatures is a huge bonus because, some of these hunts can cost a lot of money. If you want to shoot your big game animal and there's one tag you're waiting 10 years for and your trigger doesn't go off, it's pretty frustrating.
and that's where this trigger comes in. That's your primary trigger, 1.5 to 4 pounds, right? That's your
for hunting. That's perfect, right?
Yeah,
that's great trigger.
I wouldn't even shoehorn it into the big time hunts. Like even just if you're looking for Saskatchewan whitetail or whatever, it would be perfect for your 700 for sure. That's where all the ranges come into play. Like you could throw a competition in there or a diamond, pardon me, and have that crisp trigger weight, but
depends where you're hunting.
Yeah,
whether you're shivering your ass off or whether you're actually
over your fucking shoulder, going up a fucking cut bank in Console, Saskatchewan, or.
Well, I would make the argument that the better trigger you have is way more important on a hunting rifle.
Yeah,
that weighs 7 or 8 pounds. Do you want to have a trigger that's going to take 10 or 12 pounds to pull, or do you want a trigger that's going to
I don't know about you guys, but when I'm competing, my heart's going, the adrenaline's pumping, and that sort of thing with my AR. But I can tell you, I feel a lot worse coming down from a good buckshot than I do a shitty stage at an AR for a 3-gun.
It's a different thing for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Warren asked us, is there any dealers in Saskatchewan?
Yeah, Shane.
No, Shane's
in Alberta.
Oh, that's right.
We're Shane, Saskatchewan arm.
Well, I know I've purchased several triggers at TNT Gunworks. I'm pretty sure XRO, Extreme Range Outfitters, I think you can see the sign in the back of Kurt's view screen there. They carry, I think, Triggertech as well.
Those guys are not in the Triggertech catalog, though. Like
they are not. No.
You know.
Yeah,
we will ship to Saskatchewan. Yes, they do. In fact, I can confirm that.
Right there.
Definitely, we have a lot of dealers, so they all can fit in the catalog. But yeah, we have a dealer locator on our website. If you can't find things too, just give us a call, shoot us a quick email. If you're trying to find a local dealer, we're happy to go through our dealer list and send you a few names that are close to you.
Cool. So we were talking about sales a little earlier. You guys have pretty good market share nowadays?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's like I said, we're growing every year. Definitely gaining more and more of that pie for sure. Especially now with all the new products coming out this year too and stuff. So,
what about like Anzac, like Australia and New Zealand?
Yeah. We had a dealer in New Zealand, Steve's Wholesale, who's been a good partner for us for many years. Australia, we just switched to TSA Outdoors in Australia. They'll be our exclusive distributor over in Australia. But we had 3 or 4 dealers in Australia as well, too. So anywhere where you got someone to get triggers to you worldwide.
Well, and really, they're a huge market in Australia too, because all the competition shooters there, that's all they have are bolt guns, and so they're running Christensen's or 700s or Curtis Customs or whatever, right?
Yep.
And yeah,
definitely, you can find all the top company, find all the Defiance actions and stuff like that there too. A bit more difficult lately down there with all the gun stores have been shut down by the government because of COVID. And then before that, they had all those bushfires, so no one was really shooting outside. So they've had a bit of a rough go the last 4 or 5 months.
They're catching up though. I was just I follow and working on getting them on the show if we ever can figure out the time, because the time difference is a killer. But the guys at Impact Dynamics in Australia, they're in Melbourne area, and I'm trying to get them on the show to talk to them because we're predominantly a PRS or precision show right now. It would be good to hear what gun laws could go to eventually in this country, coming from the horse's mouth, if you will. No offense to those guys. I know they listen to the show, so I don't want to call them
no offense to the horses.
That's right. But no, that's cool, man. And I'm super stoked to see a Canadian firearm company grow at the rate you guys have grown and getting the name out there. Like I'm proud to wear this hat. I'm proud to wear REM Precision hat. I'm proud to wear the hats, of companies that make good shit. And yeah, I'm gonna put this one through its paces. And
Awesome.
I'm super stoked about that. So
need video.
Cool. So, you guys got any more questions?
Yeah, Calvin's a little late to the show.
No shit.
Asking about 2-stage triggers. Yeah. Thanks, Cal. Taking time out of your busy day late at night, Saturday. There are a few 2-stage triggers planned, right?
Yeah, definitely. So that's been a while in development. It's a big release, and a lot of people are patiently waiting for that release. We're there. We're just ramping things up for production. Getting packaging in and stuff like that too. Starting to get communication out to our dealers. So I would imagine to the market probably in the next month or 2, they'll be available. So
excellent triggers are essential in a gopher getter. Speaking of gopher getters, I wonder how far down List Creek Hoff double rifles are.
Pretty far. They're a ways. Yeah.
What are there like 800 Krieghoffs in the world?
Yeah. And Oscar has one, and it's 375, and he shoots gophers with it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Matt Mark, you never told me you had a paddock pleasure room. Brent, your buddy Brent, Kurt.
Thanks, Matt, by the way.
He says it's great to have Canadian manufacturers. Absolutely, it's great to have Canadian manufacturers.
It's really neat. I mean, we got Ultimatum, we got MDT, Triggertech. I mean, there's a few good companies that are making some real waves in the market.
Kodiak are now the MSR from Wolverine now, whoever's making those now. Yeah, we're growing. It's good to see. And now, well, that actually is a good segue. Thanks, Mark. But we're going to move on a little bit here. That's a good segue because our news for the week is the number of licenses just got released again. And where's that article here? Fuck. There it is. Gun licenses rose for the 10th straight year in 2019 to a new record. So the market is growing, and for us to have any, and that's on the gun blog, guys. We'll share it on our Facebook group, but it's been steadily growing. The curve is trending up, and that's the only way we can keep our guns, right? Is to have more of us owning them, and that's the only say we're going to have. We only have 30 million people in there, 35 million in this country, and that's the population of California in the States. So it makes it makes total sense to me that Mark's biggest market is in the United States, because there's 330 million people, and I'm going to say 50% of them, being very conservative, are gun owners. So yeah, it's crazy.
We've had a 40,000 license increase since last year, or sorry, since in 2019 versus
from
2018.
18 to 19. Yeah.
So
we went from 2.2 to 2.24.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's good, and we got to keep trending that way. And so support your local stores, support EM Precision Rifles, Extreme Range Outfitters, those guys.
Well, you look at the crime rates too since the
they're going down
compared to the licenses issued. It's amazing how those figures get missed in the mainstream media. I'm not sure how that happens. CBC fuck faces.
Well, so that should go into our Dingleberry of the week.
Shouldn't it though?
That's good. You're making my job easy now. The CBCs are Dingleberry of the week. I don't know if you guys saw, but on social media they were doing a live event or a live stream, if you will, from the House of Commons, and being that it was a skeleton crew there, Pierre Poilievre, our great friend, conservative MP from the Ottawa Carleton area, he was questioning Krista Friedland on, I can't remember what it was now, but he said it's a yes or no question.
They do about the military report.
That's right.
In January.
Yeah. Yes or no? Did you guys know about the military provide intelligence based on COVID? I think is exactly what it was. And they said, no, the Liberal government is strongly whatever bullshit response it was.
Yeah.
And then he stood up and went back and forth like that. And then as soon as he asked the question, the CBC cut away. Like, you fucking shit.
Yep.
And they get over $1 billion a year of our money. Like, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. So there are Dingleberry of the week. And then speaking of Dingleberries, our honorable mention is to anyone who goes shopping or wherever you are in a public setting.
Oh my God.
And you're using disposable gloves and not changing them.
Yeah.
Disposable and not so disposable.
Yeah. What if you only have one pair?
Yeah. Well, and then leaving them in the fucking parking lot or in the cart, whatever.
Or wearing them, or even just wearing them and going to the produce section and picking up an apple. Oh, that's not good enough. Putting it down. Picking up another one. Oh, that's not good enough. Right? And it's just like, you stunned.
Yeah. See you next Tuesday, you sons of bitches.
That's right. Well, and then I put in, for the human who doesn't suck of the week, driving home from Kurt's Range today, there were a lot of farmers or a lot of guys running combines lately. And, there was a tough 2019, a lot of crops still on the ground. Even in Mark's area, there was a lot of corn, a lot of beans still out there, just because it was just such a shit year. And, props to any farmer now out combining who, barely had their insurance cover them for the year, and now they're trying to sell what they got. And any farmer to them, and seeding's coming up too, so any farmer in Western Canada, Eastern Canada, wherever who's struggling to get seed in the ground. So props to those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. They struggle to begin with. Never mind with shit like this going on and the weather and everything else. It's tough enough lifestyle to contend with.
Well, you know what makes a good fucking trigger in your combine gun?
Yes, sir. What caliber would you recommend?
Well, now here's a question. So I guess adversary of the show, Bryce Volk from last episode. I don't know if you guys remember the one who was calling us fat. It was hilarious. So he rigged up a Tavor TAR 21 for his combine gun. Do you guys have Mark? Do you guys have any plans to do a Tavor trigger or X95 trigger or anything like that?
Possibly, yeah, down the future. I mean, like we're coming out with 4 new AR triggers or 3 new AR triggers right now, so that might be it for this year. But we have discussed the Tavor, so it's possible in the future. I saw a comment there. Someone asked about the REM 783, just saying we do have the guns in house, so which means we are working on it, but I don't have a release date on the 783 yet.
Okay, cool. So, okay, let's kind of go through the questions here. For each of you, for someone that's brand new to PRS and hasn't done a shoot, beyond the gun and setup, what's the most important thing to focus on when getting into comp shooting?
Fundamentals. Always baseline fundamentals till you're blue in the face, as it were.
Yeah, get your little PRS barricade at home. You can dry fire in your fundamentals for sure.
Yeah.
John actually shared a video of that on our on our Facebook page in his pajamas.
Scoob.
and backing up, if you look very closely, he's shimmying his ass a little bit. That's a maple seed technique.
It is, yeah. The natural point of aim, when you exhale and completely relax, where is the rifle pointing? If the rifle's not there, it's the fundamentals, right? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's your trigger pull. It's a consistent trigger pull. It's where your rest is. It's where all that stuff. It's such a major role in
you pulling that rifle in hard enough to you to control it.
Yeah.
And are you following through? Like, in addition to what you've said, John.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. All those things come into play every single press of that trigger. Every time.
Yeah, I can't stress this enough, and I think I've said it before. Maybe I haven't said it enough. I don't know, but take some training. You're better off spending $1,000 on some training, some good quality, effective training, than you are on ammo.
And repeating that training at home when you take it there.
That's right. Take notes while you're there. All that kind of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like it makes such a big difference. It'll change your life. The way you shoot, the way you handle yourself, the way you set yourself up in your firing position, all that kind of stuff. It makes such a big difference. You take
that focus you have on target too. That if you can develop and maintain that focus throughout that shot sequence, like it can like, this sounds wild, but it is true. It can translate to other aspects in your life. Just that concentration. We have so many distractions around us in life. If you can hone in that focus through that shot sequence in your discipline, it makes a huge difference. You see it in kids so quickly. I've coached a lot of kids and new shooters. And you can see those things firing when you go through it correctly enough yourself. If you prove to that kid or new shooter that you know your stuff and are explaining it well enough, they'll execute that and bring it all together. And it's the same thing that you can do every time, as long as you're concentrating on each one of those aspects throughout the shot sequence.
Cool.
Oh, that was long, hey?
You were good.
Sorry.
So, if whoever's still watching, if you're here, sound off, because I'm starting that spreadsheet now. So sound off in the comments, and I'll add you. So cool. What else you guys got for Matt or Mark? Pardon me. Fuck.
Whoever you are, we know
Yeah.
you are.
Who just gave a whole
You,
pile of
guy.
fucking triggers? Jesus Christ. Sorry, dude.
You need a timeout.
I might be kind of drunk.
While we're talking about PRS stuff, I got
Let's have it.
a whole bunch of guns over here. Bottles and stuff.
Somebody give him a hand.
So here's my comp rifle.
Nice.
So we got the MPA chassis here. Defines deviant tactical action. Sherwood 6.5 Creedmoor. Proof barrel. I think I got the MTU contour. Atlas bipods. APA brake. We got the Vortex Razor HD. 4.5 to 27 by 56. An MPA mount. And this, I got a dual trigger in there. And
You got a what trigger in there? Wait a fucking second.
there's the Triggertech.
Listen, you son of a.
That's the comp rifle there. Love to get into the 6GT, the 6 mils and stuff, but 2 young kids and a busy job. I don't have time to do it.
You have 2 kids? Congrats.
So
What are you, 18? Come on. 2 kids already?
2 kids. All the time, man. You get home from work and it's just kid stuff, and
That's what a jewel looks like. It's not nearly as good as the diamond. Just saying.
Yeah.
Leanne Molnar's here. Cool. Thanks for Tanner Rod. Thanks guys for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Matt doesn't need another.
Wouldn't that be funny if you won again? That would be hilarious.
Kinda.
I'll have to buy another AR.
Thanks.
Jens, Keegan, Sylvia. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There are 34 people that are currently watching.
Funny what happens when you give free shit away.
Isn't it?
I wonder if maybe we should do that more often.
Mikey, my poker rally babysitter.
Thanks, Mikey.
Brad Frazier. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Okay, you guys talk. I got some typing to do.
We got Oscar's made a comment here. That's huge. Don't take training. Then put the gun down for 3 months. I see that all the time. You have to reinforce what you learn. You really do.
Absolutely. You lose all that shit.
Yeah, things do permeate the rest of your life. You can always tell why I'm concentrating hard because I stopped breathing, just like I do when executing a shot.
When you're doing your heavy bench, you got to stop breathing.
That's right. You have to completely exhale, get all that lung out of you, and then as your focus just starts to shrink in, and you zero in on the target. Bang!
No, that's called passing out, John.
Shooters have a corrupted approach to lots in the shooting world. So easy to train, and that's so true. It's so much easier to train somebody or teach somebody something new when they have no idea whatsoever, as opposed to when they know that this is this and that and that.
That complete openness, hey? Yeah. It is, and it is gorgeous to teach too, because they're just hanging on you.
Exactly.
What next?
Mm-hmm. Well, Earl and Calvin said it best. 90% of learning is just listening and absorbing, right? And listening to guys like Cal and like Earl, and I would even go so far as you, Kurt, and you, John. What do we drink tonight? Rewind an hour 18 minutes and you'll get it right. Yeah. Anyway, Christian.
Post up, John.
There we go.
Okay, I'm running out of time here, guys. So I just want to say,
another.
Mike Heineck. I've been looking for a Canadian podcast with this level of energy. I'm going to keep coming back regardless of free stuff. If my fucking camera, you need to sponsor us on Patreon so I can buy a new camera.
Or just listen to
I don't even look at you anymore.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Hey, great hug at the range today, by the way, though.
I told Sarah that. I'm like, yeah, I kind of gave Kurt a little hug, and Sarah's like, you asshole. We're supposed to be social distance. Anyway, I think I got everybody here. Yeah. Shane is in. I'm going to put Shane in on this, too. Shane and Steve. Steve, if you're here, sound off.
He's probably gone to bed already.
Probably. That's okay. All right. So.
Whoa. Menard, back the fuck off.
Well, Terry's here, too.
You're really gay for this day, Cal.
Introduce him to the Andrew Craig.
And then Matt comes along and says this. Can't you feel me? Now that conjures up some images, I'm telling you. No, Father, I can't.
Oh my goodness.
You know what? Hey, Russ brings up a hell of a point here. Are women easier to train than men? My buddy says that women as they do not anticipate recoil. I don't know about the recoil anticipation, but women are more. Sorry,
they're more receptive to.
They're used to receiving.
Oh, shit.
Calm down. Whereas you might get the ego from guys that show up to say
for sure,
saying like, "Oh, I've been shooting since I was 12. I know what the fuck I'm doing." Yep. Whereas the girl who shows up, I'm going to say 60 to 70% of the time, a female will show up to a course or a first time shoot or whatever, and be like, "I'm scared shitless, but this looks like fun. Let's go, and let me learn what you're doing." Right?
Yeah. Ego doesn't come into play as much with women as it does men. Yeah. And women are much more detail oriented than men. We're distracted by shiny things, and if you deny that, you're a fucking liar. I'm serious. How do I look? What's everybody's perception of me? We're very susceptible to that. Women, when they get focused on shit, they just go with that.
They can focus on more than one thing better than men can too, right? So when they're doing all the things, they could, focus more on trigger control and positioning and breathing and stuff better than men probably. From what I hear from
Mikey has a valid point here. Says women come with no predisposition to think they know everything about guns. They just listen.
For sure. For sure, man.
And you'll see the same growth in a shooter if it's a guy who comes in who doesn't really know, and he knows he doesn't know, so he's just there to take it all in, right? So
my wife's CBSA officer, and she's better at shooting pistol than I am. So
that's because she has to pull a 20-pound trigger for fucking qualification every time. You guys got to sell some Beretta PX4 or the PX4 triggers. That would make her life a fucking hell of a lot better.
Look at Oscar.
What did Oscar say? Sorry.
Right there. Men can't multitask. Ooh, a castle. So true.
Picky than men.
Oh my God, Steve.
All right, we're opening up a can of worms here. So
yeah, we are.
First, you can't treat a woman. Well, Matt, maybe that's why you're divorced.
Hey, let's do this here. Okay. We good? Okay, let's share this.
How many guys you got on the list?
I'll show you.
Peoples.
Going into acid mode here. There we go. Woo. Okay. Now, so we go to Triggertech. So that's the first stack of people. Here's the second stack. So we got cells between 1 and 31 right now.
36 people listening.
Yeah, but they didn't sound off when I said fucking sound off.
Sure you didn't just miss them? I'm just
if I missed anyone
maybe John should be going through the list.
If I missed anyone on the draw, sound off. If you haven't sounded off already in the comments, tell me you're here and I'll add you. Right now. You have 10 seconds.
9, 8. There's like a 1 minute lag.
Okay, time. So between 1 and 31. So we go back to random.org. Let's revisit. Let's refresh this shit. And then let's go. What did I say? 1 and 31?
You said, yes, you said, yeah.
You just verify. Yeah, 31. Okay. Generate. 30. Oh, that's a weird one. Robert McMorrin.
Colin Brost.
Who is it?
Robert McMorrin is the winner.
Robert McMorrin. I didn't see him at all in the feed.
He commented here. If you go up when I said, there he is, first time here. So there you go. Makes it worth your while. So, Robert, if you could send us a message on the Facebook since you're on there, let us know and we'll arrange shipping and we'll go from there. So big shout out to Mark for sponsoring this. This is phenomenal, dude. I love you forever.
Fantastic.
Love you, Kurt. I love you a long time.
You may not want that.
Yeah.
Robert McGorry, what did I win? He says,
You like that call. No.
You want a Triggertech trigger, Mark?
Robert, just the trigger.
But wait, there's more. Yeah. Because he's a first-time listener, I'm gonna mail him a Gunning Around sticker too. So
good job.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everyone who tuned in, liked, and shared our stuff. That was phenomenal. What else do we got?
Shut up.
I'm not gonna play a CCFR ad, but join them, do their stuff. CSSA, NFA, everybody join their shit. Shout out
for a membership.
That's right. Buy a hat, shirt, and shit like that. Shit and corruption. My shout out this week is going to Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch over at Triggertech. You guys are amazing.
He's like, I don't know what that is. I'm too young.
Hey, Mark, how old are you?
36.
Oh, he's
older than me, you fucks. So calm down.
There we go. He looks like 10 years younger than you.
It's the beard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, my shout out.
Not a per mile.
Oh boy.
I went dark. Sorry, guys.
All right, my shout out this week. I actually have two. One for our pal and website administrator Oscar for coming out today and delivering some Varget and some entertainment as well. My second shout out goes to
Smokies.
What? Oh, it's Smokies. Goose Smokies. Goose Smokies of all things.
Awesome. Oh my God.
They were great. And he sent me home a package.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Backing up. Robert, my rifles all have Triggertechs. Draw another name.
What's that?
He doesn't want it.
Really?
He's got all Triggertechs already.
Hey, hats off to him for stepping up like that, though.
Yeah, to be honest, dude.
Jeez, good man.
Robert, it sounds like you're a customer at EM Precision Rifles. I'm still going to send you a sticker.
You should probably buy another gun, I think.
Well, no kidding.
Steve just on the keyboard, single finger type, and we'll build you another one.
Yeah. Triggertech.
Robert, we thank you for the support, man. We do appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. And way to be honest too. That's phenomenal. So you guys want to do another one? Let's
do it right now.
Jessica Caesar, we got to add her.
Well, that's Matt's other half. So
is it? Oh, well, it still counts.
It still counts. So I'm keeping the same list.
Matt's on the YouTube and she's on the Facebook. I smell a rat.
Yeah. Whatever.
Are you sure that's not Rena, your dog?
Oh, maybe.
Okay, so do I got Mikey on there? I think I do. Mikey Freeze right there. Okay, so we got cells 1 to 32 now because we added Matt's better half. So let's go to random.org. Let's refresh so we can make sure it's legit.
If Matt Shirley wins, I'm going to be so mad.
I know, right? He's definitely
One trigger per watcher.
I know.
okay. Here we go. 3. Wow, weird numbers today. Russ. Wow. There we go. Russ Nodder. Matthew
Nice.
Shirley and Russ Nodder won the triggers. So congrats to everyone involved. Russ,
Great job,
send us
guys.
a message on
Beautiful.
the Facebooks and with your address and all that shit corruption, and we'll get it to you. Yeah, so my shout out was to Mark. Kurt, you had this. What was it again?
I had Oscar for coming out and delivering some Varget and entertainment and goose sausage.
Thank you for the Varget.
You betcha. And also Jens for coming out with a bum leg. The guy had knee surgery, broke his goddamn leg in, well, just below the knee, I guess.
700 different places he broke.
Five places. And like he walked back to the fucking office. Tough, stubborn German. And he came out today. Did he fire 2 shots? I don't know.
I don't think
But he brought his lab radar out. And he entertained all of us with the lab radar.
I was like, he stayed all day. Like he did all day.
He did. Like, here's a guy for the last 5 weeks has elevated his goddamn leg. I don't know how many hours a day because of the pain. So he comes out because he loves the smell of gunpowder and just hangs out and runs the lab radar for everyone.
Top-notch individual.
Bless your heart,
Yeah.
you stubborn German bastard.
It's awesome.
He is.
Cool. John, who do you got?
Well, I got TNT Gunworks. That's my local gun flogger and purveyor of all things that go boom. I'd like to give a special shout out to Steve at EM Precision Rifle.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Oh yeah, look at that thing.
Yeah.
Show him the other ones too.
Oh,
Kurt,
you want
you
the M14 one? Oh, wait, that's at Kurt's house still.
Hey, look over Kurt's shoulder, guys, beside the EM or the extreme range.
Right there.
Look at those things. Those are fucking sexy.
Isn't that awesome?
That one's my
drill a hole in them. I was like, you know what? I am gonna ask Steve if he'd be okay if I drilled a hole.
No, don't. Especially the gunning around one. If you drill one through the fucking gunning around one, I'm gonna rape you.
So here, I actually stuck it with Velcro tabs. So
Close up, John.
Velcro.
Bring it in.
I'm not sure if I could do this.
Yeah, you can.
That's the new laser engraving machine.
That is awesome.
That is sexy as hell.
It's that sweet as hell.
No kidding.
And say hi to Cindy for us, too.
Oh, hi, sweetie. She's in the smoking lounge right now.
That's okay. Cool. Mark, who do you got for a shout out?
Oscar as well for being awesome and doing that trade deal with me. I appreciate that, buddy. You're the best.
There you go. Mark?
I'll do a couple shout outs, I guess. To you guys, thanks for having me, and to all the customers that the listeners that logged in, and to the winners too. So thank you guys for having me and everything. Do one more shout out. Thanks to Shane for building this rifle. I'm still waiting on my loophole scope, but I had an extra razor, so it's on there. But once the Mark V comes up here, I'll have this finished. So thank you to Shane, EMP, building awesome rifles.
Shane and Steve, they're awesome.
Yeah.
For
So,
sure.
Well, Mark, I would love it if when you announce your new products, if you want to come back on and give us a rundown, that would be phenomenal. That would be amazing. We all had a great time. We learned a whole bunch. Thanks for helping us out with these TNR triggers too. And then also with the giveaway. I love you forever, dude. That's awesome. So
love you too, man.
Okay, break it off.
Yeah, apologies.
Social distance your asses.
Well, we've been really social distancing from Wes Stevens. He's been coming at me to come on the show, and I say sorry, dude. We had Mark from Triggertech on, so you can't. Sorry, dude.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Back off, lady.
Yeah. And next week we might have John Gormley next week, so we'll see.
Oh, we don't.
No, we don't.
No,
we don't. Well, let's not announce it. We'll wait till tomorrow.
All right.
And then I'm going to run Monster Truck on the show again for the intro and outro. Shout out to those guys for letting us use their music. It's greatly appreciated. Check them out. Apple Music, YouTube, wherever you get your shit. That's awesome. And shout out to John. I'm going to say his full name, John Johnston. I don't know his band, but you guys, he's doing us up some proprietary music for the intro and outro and our YouTube stuff. It sounds so good. I'm so yeah. Shout out to him. He's my buddy down in Virginia going through all that bullshit right now. So thanks, buddy. That's awesome. And yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Great show, guys.
Ciao.
And there we go.